Hey everyone, welcome to Trizity Traveling. I am your host John, and if you've been watching my channel over the last few weeks and months, you'll know that I've been exploring the COVID era with the various airlines in the United States. Not flying internationally as of yet, so I've been exploring those domestic airlines. One set that I have not explored quite yet, or frankly ever, are the ultra low-cost carriers of Frontier, Spirit, and Allegiant. Today's video will change that. I will show you my inaugural, if you will, not that it's that spectacular, my inaugural flight with Frontier Airlines, and over the next couple weeks I have Spirit and Allegiant as well. If you haven't been following my travels over the last few weeks and months, why not? Please go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the reminder bell and you'll be notified of future trips as they get posted. I really appreciate it. And if you like today's video, please give it a thumbs up as well. That really helps my channel. As I said, this is my first ever flight with Frontier. Expectations are very low. I have seen videos on YouTube about Frontier and the experience. And in the COVID era, I kind of expect it to be pretty much a seat. And that's about it. We'll see how that goes. As a bonus, we get a drive-through of the new Salt Lake City Airport terminal, spend a brief amount in the check-in area of the new airport, as well as a quick walkthrough of the canyon, as they call it, in the main entry area of Terminal A, I believe, in Salt Lake City. I'll be headed through Salt Lake City in the near future, so stay tuned for a more extensive review of the terminals in Salt Lake City. I don't know how long Frontier is going to be in the old part of the airport, but they are currently in the old part of the airport, so it's quite a walk. The gate agent warned me that it was a 25-minute walk from check-in to the gate, so that's a good time had by none, at least not by me. Anyway. Without further delays and chit-chat, let's get to today's trip report. As I mentioned in the intro, we are flying with Frontier from Salt Lake City to Denver today. As a new traveler with Frontier, I thought I would share the booking process because it's a little different than that of Delta, American, or United that you may be more familiar with. Obviously, you can see that the fares are as low as expected for an ultra low-cost carrier. $39 for today's flight is amazing, but then I begin to wonder, how do you make any money if you're only charging $39? This becomes clear immediately after the fare selection. All flight options like bags and seats are separate charges, or, in the interest of making things easy for you as a traveler, you can bundle multiple options together. These bundles are presented immediately after your fare selection. The question I have as an analytical person, will these bundles actually save you money? And the answer to that is, it depends. These multiple fees depend on when you choose them in the booking process, after the booking process, or before the flight. These actual costs are not actually presented for many of these options. I've tabulated them after the fact for your review. As I said, the costs you will pay actually depend on when you pay for them, which makes this analysis a little more complicated. If you paid for them during this booking process, the carry-on check bag and seating would cost you $78, and that assumes that the seat selection would be the minimum fee that they publish. That would be $12 less than the a la carte price. In actual practice, I think most regular travelers on Frontier probably only pay for a carry-on or a check bag, but probably not both. And as such, I think many of them bypass the bundle. The total fare under that scenario would be approximately $70, rather than the $104 total that I paid with the bundle. Saving approximately $34 could be very important to a lot of travelers. I hope my analysis helps you make the decision that's best for you. Let's go ahead and get into the airport. In September of this year, the Salt Lake City Airport opened Phase 1 of the new SLC with a new single terminal replacing Terminal 1, Terminal 2, and the International Terminal. Concourse A opened with 25 gates, while Concourse B is scheduled to open in October of 2020 with 20 additional gates. Concourse A and B will be connected by 2 underground tunnels. The old terminals and concourses will be closed and demolished to allow for the eastern portions of Concourse A and B to be constructed. Frontier's check-in desk and departure gate are at the opposite ends of the airport, with the check-in desk at the left end of the new check-in area and the departure gate in the old airport area. Gordon Hunther, hopefully I'm saying that right, was selected to create large-scale permanent art installations in the new airport terminals. In the check-in area and down to the baggage claim area is a piece of art called The Falls. This piece of art is an 80-foot tall sculpture that's in the escalator well. From the airport website, the Falls sculpture makes use of natural light provided by the curtain wall near the 3-story escalator well, creating intriguing color effects in its vicinity. I'll let you be the judge. Immediately after the brand new security area, travelers enter what's a canyon. Again, from the airport website, the canyon evokes the Salt Lake City landscape and spans 362 feet, roughly the length of a football field, using 2.5 acres of composite fabric and the equivalent of 7 miles of aluminum tubing. Again, from the airport website, the seating in the airport terminal takes the form of column/benches, which are inspired by the sculpturally integrated column plates seen in the entry area of the airport. So what do you think? Comments are welcome. Post them below. My flight to Denver is departing out of gate G2 in the old part of the airport. The Frontier gate agent warned me at check-in that from check-in to G2 was about a 25-minute walk, so let's get going. We start our way to G2 through a semi-permanent walkway connecting the new A terminal to the C, F, and G gates. This would indicate that perhaps the G gates will be some of the last to move and won't move until the new extensions to A and B are fully open. Head down a couple people movers. And finally, we'll arrive at the G gates. And because I don't expect any service on the flight, remember to stay hydrated. If you're not familiar with Frontier Airlines, each of their aircraft livery features a different animal. Today I'm flying on Ozzy the Orca Airbus A320. In the current COVID era, Frontier is the only air carrier that I'm aware of, in the United States at least, performing temperature checks before boarding. I do believe temperature checks are more common elsewhere. The typical Frontier seat is 18 inches wide and will have a pitch between 28 and 29 inches. The actual seats are slim and very, very firm. They hurt my butt. The back of each seat has this inset area which makes them feel roomier, at least more room for your knees, which is nice.
We ask that you wear and keep your face covering or mask on you throughout the duration of the flight. Your face mask needs to cover your mouth and your nose. Keep this in mind, this is for your safety and for the safety of those around you. In the unlikely event of a cabin decompression, remove your face covering and immediately don the nearest oxygen mask. Make sure to adjust your own mask before assisting those around you. Federal aviation regulations require passenger compliance with lighted information signs, posted placards, and most importantly, crew member instructions, including information on seatbelts, smoking, and the wearing of face coverings.
For taxi, takeoff, and landing, the child sitting on your lap facing forward just like you. You are the child seatbelt, one arm high, one arm low. Either time and position is fine, but for taxi, takeoff, landing, sitting facing forward just like you.
We are departing to the south off of runway 16 left today. If you like aviation and airplanes, head on over to my aviation YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. As I suspected, once we were in flight, there was no service other than trash pickup. Bring your own snacks and beverages if you're flying on Frontier these days. I don't know if this was the case pre-COVID because I've never flown with Frontier, and I look forward to a flight in the post-COVID era so I can get a better sense of Frontier Airlines and their service. I've blocked him here, but my single-serving friend looks suspiciously and right into my camera. And with such a short flight, only about an hour, not much landmark spotting today. One that was easy to identify is the Flaming Gorge and the Flaming Gorge area in southern Wyoming and northern Utah.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Flight Deck. I wanted to give you a progress report on our flight to Denver. We've begun our descent into Denver right now, showing landing in approximately 23 minutes. That should put us on the ground exactly 10 minutes early. Beautiful day shaping up in Denver today. Winds out of the south, temperature in the mid-80s. Going to get out for 38 today, that's A38. Sure appreciate you joining us today. We look forward to serving again. Thank you for flying Frontier. We'll see you on the ground here in about 20 minutes or so. Welcome to Denver.
Also, as a reminder, please keep that face covering on and over your mouth and your nose until you are completely off of the aircraft. Also, in the Denver airport, they do require face coverings as well.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing.
Time for the thumbs up and thumbs down today. So thumbs up today, I've got none. This was really just basic transportation. We were safely provided transportation from Salt Lake City to Denver, so hurrah. Thumbs down today, really nothing to do with the flight or Frontier, but I had the unfortunate case of a young couple behind me who didn't know how to keep their new child occupied. As such, their little one really enjoyed unlatching the tray table and allowing it to drop, playing with my hair, etc. They seemed unable to keep the child from playing with me and my seat, even when they were asked, so that was quite annoying. Thankfully, it was only an hour, so not the worst flight with a baby behind me that I've ever had. The good news is it was a really cute little baby. On a side note, I did see a lot of kids on Frontier, which is not surprising based on the fares. If you don't like having kids on your flight, you may not want to fly on Frontier.
On behalf of this flight crew on Frontier Airlines, welcome to Denver. The local time is 1:40. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened, all carry-ons stowed and the aisle clear until the captain turns off the fasten seatbelt sign. Please be careful opening the overhead bins as items tend to shift during flight. You may now turn off DMR airplane mode on your portable electronic devices and use your cell phones if they're available to you at your seat. As you are checking that seat bag pocket for any of your personal items, could you do us a favor and place any trash you find on your seat? This will assist us in getting the aircraft ready for its next departure. A customer service agent will be available in the gate area to answer any questions regarding connections or baggage claim. If you have any checked luggage here in Denver, we use carousels 2 or 3 on the east side. That's 2 or 3 on the east side. Customers needing special assistance today, such as a wheelchair, please remain seated until the majority of the passengers have deplaned. Wheelchairs will not be available until the end of the planning process. This will also allow us to better assist you. Visit flyfrontier.com next time you fly to get our lowest fare done right. We've enjoyed our flight with you today, and thank you for choosing Frontier Airlines.
If you have any questions or comments about this flight or flying during the COVID era, please post them below. I'm happy to respond as I can. Next up, I'll continue my exploration of these low-cost carriers with a flight from Denver to Las Vegas with Spirit. This will be my first time on Spirit Airlines as well, and it's a slightly different experience than Frontier, so stay tuned for that. I'll also be posting a video about how Las Vegas is addressing the COVID situation right now. I hope you'll stay tuned for both of those. And as always, I'm going to wish you and yours safe and happy travels.